spontaneous live stream, and it's probably going to be horrible because I'm using my ring light, and yeah, if I move or do anything, then it will start to adapt in ways that I don't want it to. Yeah, and I'm red in the face like a tomato because I have the snorts. Not that snorts. Anyway, let's go. I'm not going to share my screen because no. But I'm installing my Debian stuff, and I'm writing a blog post parallel to that because I wanted to document all of this. Like, you know, I always wanted to. Oh, let's turn down the light a little bit, maybe. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice in my eyes. Is this okay for you too? And by the way, can you hear me all right, or does it suck? So, because I always wanted to write a markdown file, so yeah, and I never did that. I always write markdowns on everything, but then I don't finish them, or I just really never just do them in the first place. But this time, I'm writing a blog post, not a markdown, a blog post with my whole installation. And the first thing that I do on any installation, like this is Debian 12, and like I have my computer here with the Debian 12, that's that one. And I have the other computer over there. I'm not gonna touch this because then it's probably going to break because it's unstable as fuck. And oh no, I said fuck monetization. Please, YouTube overlords, do not demonetize this video so I can afford more flash drives and water, which is not going to be spilled over this computer. Because I did that. That is why we ended up here. But by the way, I have 3 keyboards now here. Like this is in the middle. This is like the flash color. Oh, the white balance. Holy shit. So this is my skin color, and then I have the other 2. So now the first thing that I do with any install, with any Linux that I set up, and this is like I don't know how to say this in a politically correct way. Oh, fuck it. It's a total girl thing to do. I set up my terminal in a way that it looks transparent and nice and has the right colors, because the terminal is hi, good night. The terminal is the most important thing on Linux, so yeah, it is going to be tweaked first. And then I set everything to the dark theme because I can't work on a light theme. Like, what psychopath does? No. Okay, but yeah, no, I don't have time for the light theme actually. So let's just set up everything that is necessary. Okay, probably update, super user update. Okay, this is going to take a while. So you can ask me stuff in between and then I will answer stuff. By the way, I have a new jumpsuit. Look. I just really like jumpsuits. They are so comfy. They are like the sweatpants are for dudes. That is what jumpsuits are to women. But I think like a lot of women don't wear jumpsuits because it makes you look a little bit pregnant, and it's also not cool to pee in those. Like you just have to undress the whole thing, and then you're like very naked on the toilet, which is weird. So damn, how do I open this stupid chat? I never figure out how to open this fucking chat. Like, come on, there was some trick to it. Oh, here it goes. Okay, you look cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, anyway, 9 people, crazy. And I can click on my face. I don't know if it does a white balance or a focus or anything, because YouTube, oh my god, YouTube's apps that YouTube makes. By the way, there was just like, oh, the update's finished. There was just like a new app coming out that I installed on my Android because it's not available for the noobs, aka the Mac users, which is YouTube Create. Okay, do you use Midnight Commander? Always my first action on a fresh install. No, I actually don't. Maybe I should. But I'm just gonna do an upgrade now. Sorry for the coughing. I'm really sick. It's either my fourth COVID or it's just flu from daycare. Yay. Anyway, we're doing updates now. Yoo-hoo. And by the way, I would love to do a giveaway because this is a fair mouse, you know. It has a wooden wheel, which is really cool. It's made in Africa and it has this super cool, nice design. Just look at this. Isn't this pretty? Like green light, and it makes noises it shouldn't because I dropped it. Yeah, I just kill all my hardware. But this mouse is really nice and it's really sturdy and durable. And I would like to give away one of these because I accidentally ordered another one, the one that doesn't have the clicky wheel. So this one has the clicky wheel, which I use it. I also have this mouse, which is a, what is it? Lenovo. Oh yeah, it has the red thing. I don't know what it is with brands nowadays. Everything has to have a logo. Back to the 90s or what. So anyway, I have this other mouse that doesn't have the clicky wheel, and for me, I close browser tabs that way, so I can't do without. But if any of you wants it, you know, I would love to give it to somebody who can actually use it because it's such a waste that I now have two mouses. My first action is to fast fetch plus FF. As for it, okay, yeah. Interested to see. Sorry, I'm so slow with fucking comments. Interested to see what more advanced users do with Debian 12. You think I'm I'm not a more advanced user. I'm just a fun user. I concentrate on my programming shit and I concentrate on work and I do a lot of stuff in the web. Actually, I want to get away from that, but I wouldn't consider myself a pro user. So, you run it on an old desktop computer. Yeah, I run it on an old Lenovo. It's not that old. Like the processor is what is it? Core i7. So it's okay. And the thing though is like you have the CPU. Sorry if the English isn't there. Are you tiling window manager or do you use a iPhone level KDE after getting a stream? First of all, I don't use KDE anything. Just I did it for a while and I just didn't like it. But if you love KDE, then good on you. I was a GNOME user, but then GNOME got super bloated in a way, and it also got bigger, and I had Ubuntu at the time, and Ubuntu then moved to this whole Unity crap, which I hated because it's also tablety and commercial, and I just didn't like the look and feel of it. And so I looked for something more similar to the old GNOME shell, and that was XFCE, and I've been an XFCE user ever since. I don't really use a tile window manager because, let me just read another comment. I don't really use a tile window manager because I don't really need it. I do graphic stuff and I don't need tiling for that. And in programming, I also don't need tiling. Rather than tiling, I would use a second monitor. But yeah, it all has its pros and cons and its applications. And now my update is done. Let's do another update. Okay, how to sign up for the giveaway? It's not really a public giveaway. If I would do a public giveaway, I would have to announce it and you know, just put on terms and everything. You can just write me on Instagram. You know, I also have a Telegram. It's somewhere in the links. If you prefer to message me on Telegram, you can message me on Telegram. You can message me on Instagram, and you know, first come first serve, I guess. You know, whatever. Just tag me when you get the mouse. And you have to be in Europe because I totally cannot ship that anywhere else, and you have to pay cost because this is usually like $10, I think. But then you get a fair mouse, and yeah, just let me know if you want one. So anyway, I love tiling. Actually, I used tiling window managers in the past. I used Awesome and some other stuff that we had on our university computers. And so yeah, those were the ones that I used. And I also knew somebody who basically made their own window manager, which was also really cool. I thought about doing that for a while, but I just don't have time for it. So, sorry if I missed some comments. So, just about by time the time started, just about time Unity started to be the thing with Ubuntu, I found XFCE. Exactly, right? And then I was so happy that I found XFCE. I mean, it's all buggy, but XFCE is the least buggy one. So, exactly, Xubuntu, that was what I used when I switched from Ubuntu, because low level shit. And then I switched right to Arch. And Gentoo, I had Gentoo too for like a few weeks. But I just really didn't need it, and then my laptop died. I have a history of killing hardware. So, what giveaway? I'm giving away a fair mouse. Like, it's not a giveaway, it's just like whoever wants it, just message me, and I'm gonna find a way to distinguish who gets it. Like, it's just, I have 2 fair mouses, and they're really pretty, and you can rewatch it in the live. This is the fair mouse. It's really pretty. It's made in Africa. It's really well done, and I would love to give it to some person in Europe, because otherwise I can't afford the shipping, and I don't know about what is it called when you get it over the border and you have to pay for shit? Customs, right? I don't know about customs, how that works. So, somebody has a question. Any specific reason to use Debian? Well, it's easily set up. It's very comfy. It's rather slim. Some say it's a slow distro, but I disagree. Yeah, I just think it's a good distribution. I love to use it. I think my personal reason why I started using Debian was because all the other Linuxes that I used before, like Ubuntu distribution, Xubuntu, they are all based on, I think even Mint, they're all based on Debian, right? And so I thought, why not just go for the real deal, like the mother of all these systems, and just choose that. That was my initial reason why I chose Debian, and also because it's a server system. We had it on our university computers. I was just used to it, and that was essentially the reason why I picked it. Complacency, interest, and it's also one of the bigger distros. The bigger the better, because then a lot of people take part in the support and like the whole updating system. And with other systems, I had the issue that it was never really up to date. For instance, with Manjaro Linux, it is a small distro and not as many people care about it. So yeah, it's like, but it has its ups and downs. I used Arch, by the way. I used Arch, by the way. I use Fedora. Right now, there's the big distro commenting going on. Okay. Ubuntu bricked my system multiple times along the years. I will never use it again. Yeah, Ubuntu is graphics heavy for some reason. So I find that Debian breaks less, and the trade-off of older packages isn't much of an issue if you use Debian security updates and Flatpaks for applications. Yeah, I don't use Flatpak. I think maybe for one application. I'm not really sure. The Signal run in Flatpak, because I run Signal on my computer, and sorry, I don't remember all this stuff. Like, usually I install a new distribution every 1 to 2 years, so I don't remember a lot of the details. I'm more of a day-to-day programmer / terminal user, so I'm more fit with the whole terminal stuff than with the install that I do once a year. I'm not an admin anymore. So use anything except Manjaro. I second that. Like, Manjaro is like, it's advertised to people as this graphics friendly system, which is why I chose it at some point. I was a YouTuber at that point, and I chose it in I think 2018 or something, or 17. And I was like, oh, it's for graphics applications and editing, and oh yeah, great. I think raw therapy or stuff like that is pre-installed. I'm not sure if that's true, but I tend to remember that I had it. So I thought, well, I'm a heavy graphics user. I like editing a lot, and I like if when the preview in the file manager works, which it never fucking does. No matter if you install G-thumb or not, you have to index all the fucking thumbnails and it never really updates on its own. Does anybody have a fix for that? If so, then please share it with me. I probably read it on Stack Exchange at some point and then forgot again, and if the problem wasn't important enough for me to A, remember, and B, implement it once more. Yeah, anyway, forgot my thought. Sorry, ADHD talking. Yeah, so Debian 12 is plenty for the average user. Yeah, I agree. Mint as well. Mint's a good beginner distro. Like I actually in the beginning I was like, oh no, Debian is more like a server system. Why recommend that to like beginner users who don't know anything? But actually I find it's very stable. I mean, if you use the stable. Yeah, that's true. They have huge repositories. What do you think about Telegram? Would you use it if it was more popular? And it's actually pretty popular in Europe, especially amongst anti-vaxxers and all sorts of people. It's also like for some people the lefties don't really use it. Like I know a lot of channels who are more like right wing and anti something. Yeah, but I don't know. Some channels are really good on Telegram and I follow them, but I find that the whole formatting is crap. And I don't know, also people on there are weird and I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I prefer Twitter. I really like Twitter. But now it's in the shitter. Yeah. When I mean something it rhymes. It happens. It wasn't on purpose. So yeah, anyway, I have Telegram. You can follow me there. I barely ever update it. Um oh yeah. AUR. Yeah. Yeah. I had a bunch of problems with that too. I use Telegram to replace WhatsApp. I actually use Signal. I think Signal is superior. It has all the encryption standards needed, and it's not in the hands of like a single person that promises not to sell my data. So I think privacy wise, I think that Signal is the better one. And also, it's fully open source, not just like one end. So I prefer it if everything in it is open source. And also, I really like in the beginning, I was like, okay, Telegram and WhatsApp, like they have the encryption, but like the formatting of the text and the previews and everything, I didn't really like it. And I think that WhatsApp is really bloated. Also, I mean, it's owned by Facebook, pardon, Meta. So I really didn't like the idea to use that. And so let me just do one more upgrade. Okay, everything's up to date. Yeah, so I really didn't like the idea of that, but Telegram had this nice formatting of text, and like if you have a Telegram channel, that makes sense. But now Signal has all of this too, like italic and fat text. Oh shit! I probably have to end the stream because I'm coughing too much. Sorry, you guys. Let me just check the chat real quick. Yeah. Signal gives me problem with calls. Like what? Like, do you call people over... Like, I call people over my SIM card. I don't call people... I mean, I call people via Signal sometimes. I'm not really having any trouble. And it also works on my computer, which is a really good point, because, like, platform independence, awesome. I have Telegram too on my computer though. I have all three of them because like the fucking moms in daycare, like moms, they cannot live without WhatsApp. There is always somebody with WhatsApp. Like my mom uses WhatsApp. Duh. I really don't want to use it, but like no way I'm getting my mom to use Signal. Like all of her stupid friends, all of her nice boomer friends, they all have WhatsApp. So. And of course iPhones. Okay, let me see what else is coming. Holy crap, you guys are writing me a lot of messages. I like it, thank you. Uh-huh. Why pirate? Just use open source. Yeah, did I say that I pirated something? I think I'm over that since Creative Suite 2, I haven't pirated any software. Yeah. I think it would be cool to have a messenger that just implements all your accounts. I think that Facebook Messenger, didn't they do that at some point? But I don't like it. It shouldn't be in one company. It should just be like a front end and you just enter all your login info and then you can use the chat. But for that, it needs to be open and have like an intersection or API. And then their API, they probably say something like, oh, you can only use our API if it's exclusive, otherwise you can't. And then it doesn't work with other messengers. And then it's like, okay, fuck it. Yeah. You guys sometimes no audio with the signal calls. No, I never have that problem. Like literally never. Maybe it's your connection, or like it's a case of it doesn't work on my machine. Yeah, it's possible. Um, I use Signal to call my sister. Okay, you guys are talking in chat. Okay, Pigeon used to do. Yeah, exactly. That was that Pigeon. I used that. It died. Damn. No, that is something I liked. You remember the olden days when we all had ICQ? Is somebody here that old? Because I used ICQ a lot, and there were these little codes you could, I don't know what was it, like press the C or the S or like the space bar for a while, and then like some emoji would occur that would take off his pants. Remember that? Like, or is it a case of lost media? Because I'm pretty sure I remember that pants taking off emoji. It's a thing, right? Okay, anyway. So now I set up my terminal. It looks nice. I updated my system. I'm gonna reboot the computer now using reboot. Restart. Super user restart. Oh, it doesn't exist. What is the restart command? Fuck me dead. Okay, it's reboot. I can never remember this kind of generic stuff. Is it like reboot, restart, or like the same with shutdown? When I shut down my Wake Online computer, I'm like, is it shut down? Is it shut off? Is it log off? What is it? Like, can you imagine? I did that for years and years and years, and I always have to try and error it. That is because like the brain works in a way where that's why I say it's so important to know stuff by heart, even if you study something in science like me, like I studied physics. So, and physicists are always like, oh, I don't know to know stuff. I don't need to know stuff by heart. I only need to know where to look it up. No, you fucker, you need to know it by heart because then you will be amazing at your job. Way more amazing than if you don't know, the stuff by heart. If you have to look it up every time, because that takes so long when you actually when you are at some company and you're working, you don't have time to look up stuff. You have to know this kind of stuff. So it's taking forever to reboot. So this is probably a Windows thing. I always reboot whenever I do just anything. So what did you guys write? Please reboot. Yeah, I do. Shutdown -R. Yeah, it was shut down. Now it's shut down and now it's gonna hopefully restart. I completely wiped the windows, by the way, and put in 4 partitions because, yeah, fucking Windows. The stream's gonna be demonetized. You know, with the stream, you can never put in anything like, oh, I want to swear, I want to say swear words. like in the normal videos where you can say, oh yeah, I'm using swear words like occasionally or heavy swearing, or I'm talking about, I don't know, the war. So, and then your video is gradually demonetized, like, yeah, you get like 60% of it or 70% of the revenue you'd get if you don't swear. By the way, do you think this is discrimination? Because I think it's unfair. I think normal people want to hear swearing, and I think advertisers actually should not care. They should they should be the ones who are educated. Like YouTube is always sending the creators these videos, and they're like, oh, don't swear, make it family friendly, blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, why don't you go to your freaking advertisers and tell them, hey, nobody wants to watch family friendly. Our creators don't want to be family friendly. Let them swear, and piss off. like it's 2023. People swear on a daily. Yeah. And they blow their noses on live streams. Okay, here we go. Dum, dum, dum. So, yeah, I'm gonna read your chat messages now. Yes, I've heard of NixOS. Actually, in one of my videos, somebody commented about it, and then I looked it up, and it seems cool. Average Windows confusions, right? Yeah. The fun fact, in our computer room at the university, when I first used the computer there, they had put in a bash redirect for for dir, like directory in Windows, in the Windows shell. If you enter dir, then you get directory, like it's a cd command. They entered that for the Windows kids, so they wouldn't get super confused as a clone of cd. Bad girls swear. Yeah. Okay. Work we have Windows 2. Daily driving Linux is a good reason to not take any work home. Yeah, that's true actually. And by the way, if I have to collaborate with people, and it's always a good thing, I can say like, "Hi, sorry, I can't use that software because I have Linux." Like, for the love of God. And then they are always like, "But don't you have like a Windows that you can start, or don't you have a Windows computer at home?" And then I say like, "No." Like my whole family is using Windows. I would have to drive 500 kilometers to my mom's place in order to use a Windows computer, or I would have to use a library computer. And I think those are actually Sun stations. So no, I don't have a fucking Windows computer. Like, and then you gotta see their faces. Like when I was in uni studying, and people were like, can I airdrop this to you? Like, air what? Air your underwear, or air your wet laundry. Like, you don't air files. Like, no. Weird. They are weird. Apple users are so weird. They just assume that everyone's dancing around them and catering to their Apple shit. Yeah. And I mean, Apple is one of the least outward compatible systems, and they managed to make that a USP instead of, a bug. Yeah, what if the company gives you a Windows laptop? Actually, my company that employed me before gave me a Windows laptop after me like begging them for a bunch of weeks, because they really didn't want the home office to happen for anyone. And then COVID, like boom, everybody in the home office. Oh, they were crying wolf. And yeah, I just worked on the Windows computer. And it was really hard because it was an American company, so I couldn't use any flash drives ever. Like, German companies, especially like smaller ones, they are so chill. Like, it's not fun for the IT department because all this stuff is infected, like users can infect their computers with all sorts of bugs, and they have too many rights often, I'd say. But I believe that in society and in companies, it should be that way. It's like this is the greater good, if or the lesser evil. Because if you control everyone and everything, and I mean, this company used to listen in on everything that we do, and I mean, I know cybersecurity, so I know how to read a log file, and I don't know if you know, but your employer can see everything that you do. Everything. When you logged on the last time. All of this is logged. And it's really important to know that, if you think it could be recorded, it's probably being recorded and they're not even telling you about. Like the stuff I know from companies that they monitor, even illegally, from their employees. I mean, I can't talk about it, it's all confidential, but I'm telling you guys, don't do anything shady at work. They know and they flag you. And even if they flag you anonymously, like, oh, this is an Instagram user. They always use Instagram. And they just flag it somehow else. They don't say it's Instagram. They don't say, yeah, you're going to be flagged in some way. And they know which sites you visit and they know what you do. And I mean, if you're a low level employee, they might not care, but don't do shady stuff at work at your computer. Like, don't even put in a flash drive, especially if you're American. Those companies, the larger ones, and by large, I mean above 10,000 employees or, yeah, 6,000 employees maybe, they are all crazy motherfuckers. So I'm gonna check out chat. So I have moderators? How do I have moderators? I wanted to, there's a message that I said like, okay, this message is to be shown because it's cool. And I clicked on it and it says another moderator just handled this. How do I have moderators? Who of you is a moderator? Can you write that in the chat? Because I certainly didn't make anybody a moderator. What the heck? Is this some AI crap? Are they messing with me? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry I can't read everything. Where is Debian? Debian is my computer, and my computer is right here. I don't screen share. It's a blah 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 stream. All right. So I'm installing stuff while I'm talking to you, but now I'm not installing anything because I'm talking too much. Okay. I have dual boot because I'm studying cybersecurity and my machine can't run the virtual machine with Windows. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I'm about to get my cybersecurity degree too, by the way. I was just doing that. So, yeah. And I was like, hey, I know how to hack shit, and I know how to extract data, and I know how to do web scraping, I know a bunch of programming languages. I might as well get certified and, yeah, work in some new field. But, yeah, I'm not sure about it yet, because I feel like, I know service companies right now in Germany, like, they just want to they just want to give you contract work or just they just want to employ you and then lend you to their clients, and it's A, not good pay, and B, is kind of stressful, so I'm not doing that. Yeah, users got too many rights, right? Don't give them root access. The amount of times I had temporary root access and I did something that I really wanted and I really shouldn't have done. But I mean, I know what to do. Like on my work computer, I know what to do. And when they gave me admin rights, I wouldn't mess up the computer. I would just, I don't know, change my wallpaper. But there are people who should really never have admin rights. They should have somebody sitting next to them and like taking care of their stuff. Hey, we're posting capsule wardrobe shirts and mustard yellow shirts. Yeah, my favorite color. Are you a hacker? I used to be a hacker, but I'm not a hacker anymore. I mean, I used to do silly shit. And I knew a bunch of Chaos Computer people. I went to a Chaos Computer Club, the Congress, 28C3. I want to go this year actually because I think it's going to be cool. Um, yeah. When I came, I do lockpicking too. When I came to Germany, it was very nice. And my sister's school gave my sister a laptop with Ubuntu. It brings back faith in humanity. They did that. They have laptops now. Oh my god. Yeah, anybody can say I know what to do. Sure, I know too many administrators that do not. Yeah, they don't know themselves. But you guys, what do you think about ticketing systems? Do you like them or do you hate them? And has anybody here worked on patents? Because I fucking hate both, like ticket systems and patents. But I know also what it's like to be on the other side, and I know about time management and project management. And sometimes I think like, yeah, some of these they make sense, right? But it was so much nicer when we did stuff like in a personal connection kind of, what is it called, even a damn layer. um yeah, I never worked in patents and I hate project management. I hate project managers. They never really know what you do. They come into your department like, oh, you, hi, researchers and developers. Can you tell me what you did that day? Because I really want to make sure you didn't like just watch a bunch of cat memes. Like I think they conclude the stuff from the whole nonsense that they do all day, and then they assume that you also do nonsense, which you don't, because R&D is a no nonsense culture. So, oh no, you're managing projects. Like I'm sorry for you. Ticketing is necessary. Yeah, it is. You need documentation. Like, but sometimes I feel like you open like 5 tickets until you finally get what you want, just because you've categorized it wrong or something. Like that kind of shit. That's hideous. So anyway. I gotta install some stuff now. So what do I install first? Let's go through my list of terminal applications. Like on my blog, I have a list of my favorite terminal applications. So if you're a noob, feel free to check that out. I'm just gonna edit my blog entry. I use my blog as documentation right now. So this is also stuff that I have. Okay. That I have scrap pre-installed on Debian. I have no idea. I think it should be. Oh shit, the SSH stuff. I gotta do that all over again. That's not going to be any fun. I set up my Wake Online computer, right, by the way. Like I have this big computer and I was thinking about getting like a small graphic heavy computer just to render. But it turns out that our family computer is actually good enough, so I'm gonna use that for rendering, and it works like a charm. And I don't know if you remember, but a while ago I asked around and I was like, what could be the best solution? Should I like hard copy my files over there? Should I just put them on a stick and go over to the computer, put them there? Like what's fastest and whatever. And I just ended up copying this stuff while, and it turned out to be just okay. It might take half an hour sometimes, big files takes half an hour, but it's fine. And then I render it all on this computer, and I also have a backup in that sense, so it's not bad. And yeah, I actually like using that. And it was a good idea because I listened to you guys and I asked you, and I was thinking about getting like a graphics heavy little cube or something, but a bunch of you said no, don't do that, they just heat up and they're not so good quality. And I listened to you and I have a free solution and it works. So I like that about community on YouTube. So you guys are often right, and then we help each other out, and that's cool. Yeah, big companies like jail. I mean, it depends. but I mean, Germany is a high trust society, right? So I clicked on my keyboard. I think I'm gonna. Um, God, I pinned something accidentally. Does somebody moderate my chat and I don't know about it? Because this is weird. Anyway, where was I? I forgot. Oh yeah, big companies, they're like prisons. I mean, Germany is a high trust society, is what I said, right? And so in Germany, like a lot of companies, there are like, oh, we're gonna have a fruit basket for everyone. And depending on the company, those are actually nice. Like, did any of you see like the Gen Z video where the girl is complaining about the fruit basket and it's like, I want more, I want a bigger salary, and I don't want your fucking fruit basket. You know what? I want both without fruit baskets. And the company without the fruit baskets was also the company that, in many other ways, took shitty care of their employees. So don't hate on the fucking fruit baskets. There is a concept behind that. Part of this concept is like, yeah, we want to pay you less and we want to keep you happy. But it's kind of keeping people happy to have free sparkling water and free coffee and free, everything. And then in my new company where I worked, and nothing was for free. And it just made me sad. It was a step down from my old company. So, yeah. Oh, Nokia. Nokia is Finland, right? Or is it Norway? No, Finland is not Scandinavia, I know. But that is the Nordics, completely different game. Like if you are a Nordic person, completely different game. Nothing compared. Like we don't have lagom here. We don't have that. We have work until you die. Okay. So and some people still believe in it, and others don't. And work is very important to Germans. Like in R&D, I know zero people, even Gen Z. They are all very ambitious. They all stay late. Like I know few people who don't stay late. Like everybody's on time when leaving and before time when coming to the job, and like you don't even write it down. Like if you don't have a system in place that automatically tracks your hours. Yeah. Oh, in Belgium. Yeah, but that's similar, right? You probably also have like really relaxed working conditions. I can moderate, but what they do. You can moderate? That's interesting. Shouldn't maybe I made you a moderator, but I don't remember. It's possible. Because sometime in the past I thought like, oh, these guys are cool. I make this person a moderator, but I don't remember if I did it. Why don't you post anything on your Telegram? Because I post on Instagram and I post on YouTube and I post on Patreon and I post for YouTube members. I make bonus content for members. I make bonus videos, extra videos that don't go live, that don't ever go online on YouTube public. And I do all that, and there's also Telegram, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. That's why I don't post on Telegram. In Mexico, how do you pronounce it? Mexico? A lot of Gen Zs are working according to the pay, but it has become like the US with boomers that know what wants to work anymore. I think the boomers have a point, but the thing is that work was also worth more in the past, right? Like a single income could support a whole family. I mean, I don't fully believe that. I think that it was still a struggle and that the working class was never at this point, really. Or, working class meant a large gap to the middle class. So I don't really believe this, but I think that it's much harder today. Like looking at charts and research, it is much harder today, like cost of living crisis and cost of, anything. Are you talking about my sub count? My freaking sub count is like 3,979 or something. Like, oh. Don't make fake accounts so it goes up to 4K. That won't help me. I want to go. I want to get there the honest way. So, yeah, but I don't know. Like 70% of people, they just follow me and watch all my videos, but they don't subscribe. You weirdos. So, anyway, let's install some software. Let's just go into super user forever. And have fun. By the way, did you know that you can guess the password? You know, the password somebody uses, or somebody enters, like the clicks on the keyboard, that can be analyzed by AI right now, I think, and they can, like, with 99% certainty or something, they can figure out the password. If you want to do that with some of my live streams, you're welcome. Like, my password is coffee, and then I don't use it on anything else, so you're not gonna get anything out of that. And it's coffee stylized in a very way that is not easy to be figured out. But yeah, if somebody steals my computer, I have other problems because none of that shit is encrypted. No good OPSEC on my end. So, yeah, is that a thing? No. I subscribe and unsubscribe 20 times. Does it count? No. 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 It's just, it counts subs, like real subs. So. Okay, grep is pre-installed. That is good. Yeah, okay. I figured so much. So is rsync also there? Let's install rsync. There we go. Update. Okay. So you guys got any questions? Because now we're getting to the boring part where I have to set up the printer. I have so many videos, by the way, that I filmed and I just haven't edited or uploaded them yet. I made a whole video on how easy it is to set up a printer in Linux, because everyone's like, oh, printers, but I was like, no, it's not hard. What are your thoughts on a carless society? I think it works really well in cities, so I think that's an option. But do you have autism or OCD? Watch my Patreon videos, then you'll know. Sorry. So I think, more interesting though, why would you think I have OCD? Like autism, I would get it. I would get it where somebody would think that. But why would you think I have OCD? Do I seem like such a perfectionist? And how does this connect? Like, how does this connect in your brain? Like autism or OCD? Like, those are not similar. Coming from somebody who has worked in psychiatry, by the way. Which is worse, watching your videos without subbing or subbing without watching? Subbing without watching, definitely, because the views is what gets me the ad money, which is essentially moral support. So, but yeah, just private your subscriptions. By the way, I have privated none of my subscriptions, so everybody can see when I subscribe to them, because I feel like I can see you if you subscribe to me publicly, and I have a bunch of larger channels that are subscribed to me, and then I see that. And it boosts morale. It's like, oh, this person is following me and they have 50K subscribers. And it's like, really such a nice thing that I can see that. But yeah, people can see them when you when you're a public subscriber, people can see your subscription. But um, but I like that, so I do that for other people too because I think like if somebody sees I subscribe to them, maybe that makes them happy if they're a small creator. Uh, what do you think about I don't think much anymore. I'm actually pretty tired, and it's just a late night spontaneous stream. Like, no huge topics. Minimalism seems OCD related to me. I don't know. I think that's more like the people who do like the closet organization videos and clean talk and stuff like that. I think that's more on the OCD end. Uh, in Windows, you will need to install HP app. HP is such a ripoff. And drivers to print and scan. On Fedora, I need Fedora. I hate HP. Like, I don't know, more of a Brother fan. Like the Brother sewing machines, they're really awesome, which is like probably the reason why I like Brother so much. Okay, so you subscribed how to ADHD. Yeah, that's true. They're really helpful. Yes, I have ADHD. I've been diagnosed as a small kid. Um, I have pretty bad ADHD and I'm unmedicated. So, yeah. Now you know. Now you all know. Mm. So, if you have ADHD questions, please let me know. Ha, Papiershow. Alter, mein Gehirn hat Papiershow. Um, okay. So, I got everything that I need. I think in terms of terminal applications, which one should come next? What do you think? Like terminal applications. I just installed rsync, and now I'm thinking PDF TK. What do you think? How to find you have ADHD? See a professional. Like it's not that difficult to diagnose it, and you do some sort of test. Same with autism. Don't go on TikTok and believe everything you hear because it's really important to get a differential diagnosis. And you can have lice and lead, you can have both. And for me, the path was basically I was struggling in university and I never studied a day in my life. So until I got my high school degree, I never really studied for anything because I didn't need to study because it was pretty easy. So I just didn't study ever. And then maybe like 3 days before my biology exam, which was not so great because I'm not good at learning stuff by heart. I also never studied for any language. All the languages that I acquired to trial and error, listening, looking up stuff. I can't remember vocabulary. It's just too hard for me to concentrate on learning vocabulary because it's so boring. But yeah, basically that meant a lot of issues to me for me as soon as I entered university, because then for the first time I actually had to study real hard because university is like 10 times or 100 times harder than school. Like all the math that I ever learned in my entire life in school up until I graduated, and that is like college, right? That's not like school in Germany is like 12 years and we don't have college, we go straight to university, so it's like college. Basically, yeah, that was just a really hard shift for me and I had problems to adapt. I managed to do everything I wanted to do eventually, but it just took me so long. It was so hard and so annoying, and I just at some point somebody recommended to go to a clinic, and I had like the ADHD diagnosis from when I was a kid, but of course I had no like waivers or anything from that. It was way back. I didn't even know what the name of the doctor was or anything. So I just went to see someone at a university clinic and just talked to them, and they were like, yeah, you have that, and you also have that. And I was like, okay, well, can I get like an extension for exams because I also have panic attacks and it sucks. And they were like, yeah, cool, you can have that. And I was like, okay, right, thank you. And so that was before TikTok, before YouTube, before any of this was cool. And so, yeah, basically that's my story. It was super awkward, and I really hated going there because it felt like I was asking for a favor or something, which I wasn't, but it just felt like that. So, one more reason why I can't really relate to all these kids nowadays that claim they have something. Yeah, you also have ADHD symptoms, but there's research on adult ADHD or issues mimicking ADHD in adults from training your brain to be not well focused anymore. So I think it's really important to differentiate that because you can mess up your brain chemistry and you will also not respond well to drugs if you don't have ADHD. So for me, I respond super well to drugs like Ritalin. I can take that and I can focus forever and ever. But first of all, it's a hard drug. And yeah, I just don't want to mess up my brain chemistry that much. But right now, at the moment, it's so bad that I'm thinking about going on that. And yeah, I haven't really decided yet because I'm just in general not a friend of any kind of medication, just of the toxicity of medications and the side effect of medications. I just stay away of any kind of medications, drugs, alcohol, nicotine. Like, yeah, I would probably be an addict if I didn't. So it's hard to decide. But anyway, so what I was saying, there's interesting research on how social media affect our attention span too. So that might also be an issue. Like if you look into yourself with the help of somebody else, maybe several somebodies, and also look into the research on other problems that it might be. And overall, if you have mild issues, like, it shouldn't be an identity crisis. It should be more like, oh yeah, I have a broken toe, I need to fix that. Or I have a cavity, I need to get that fixed. And the same is with, for me, with the symptoms I had, it was like, I need more time in an exam because I can't hold my pen straight and I have a panic attack and I'm overwhelmed with people, like too many people in one room. I just can't follow the action anymore. So I stopped attending some lectures because it was just too many people for me. And eventually that led to me accepting that, well, I guess I'm a little bit different. So yeah, anyway. I'm already working on deleting my social media and just migrating everything to the Fediverse. Fediverse? What's that? Oh, by the way, what I find super interesting, because are you guys binge watchers? Because I'm a binge watcher. But I find that like K-drama actually helps me with the binge watching. First of all, I can't watch so many Korean for so long. Because the Korean is hard to listen to. I mean, I know a bunch of words though, like 감사합니다. It means like thank you, I think. I'm not sure how it's written, but I can hear it. And like they say, when they say yes, they say de, is that right? So, but I can't hear it, if I can't say it, but I can hear it. And it's interesting because I picked that stuff up, but other than that, I know nothing. Like I've watched like 5 different K-dramas, but I've learned no language. And I'm sure if I did the same in French, I would be fluent in French by now, and I'm almost fluent. So, but what the K-drama actually does, which is really interesting, is that you can't do anything else next to it. So you don't multitask your brain capacity away. And multitasking is something ADHDers really shouldn't do. You think you're the king or the queen of multitasking, but you're really just frying your leftover brain cells. And so this actually helps me to be a little bit more mindful with my media consumptions, which is why whenever I stream anything, I watch something, I watch K-dramas. Because I can't do anything else next to that. I have to read the subtitles. And yeah, also reading books instead of watching anything. Reading books. And I think that we have a little bit of power over our attention span and also over our decisions. Because I feel like the most debilitating thing about ADHD is that sometimes you feel like you have no choice and you have no opportunities and you can't do anything about your lack of what feels like it's motivation when it's really not the same thing. And I feel like that's the most debilitating part. But when you realize that sometimes you do have a choice, and if you work your way around it, and you trick yourself, and you work with yourself actually, and you are being honest with yourself, you have a lot more choices. And yeah. So anyway, let's see what the chat says. Okay. I'm trying to learn German and I find it great because there's a lot of tech communities in German. That's true, yeah. Germany hosts a lot of nerds. I mean, we're kind of the home of engineering in many ways. Also France, right? France, amazing polytech. Yeah. I've read somewhere that ADHD is more hunter-gatherer lifestyle adapted brain. I don't know, man. I don't know. Or lady. Um, yeah. I don't know. Like, I think you get distracted a lot. Either way, you get distracted a lot. But I think the maladaptation might have not been so prominent in the olden days, right? Because when your maladaptation is that you can't sit still all the time and you need to either deep focus on some task that you really like, or to focus on a variety of tasks so you don't get bored. Like that's just something school, university, and work do not offer today. I mean, programming partially offers it, if you're not like in a very narrow spot in your like task matrix. But other than that, I can't really think of a field of work that is versatile in a way that a person with ADHD needs it to be. And also, I find it like cringe to, I would never go to my boss and say, I have this and that, and be like, I'm different, give me accommodations. Like that is the last thing I would want to do. Like I really can't process how confident all these young people are about stuff they can't even really be sure about, and they blurb that stuff out without even going to more than two doctors, and they're so proud of this in a way that it makes me cringe super hard, to be honest. Okay, anyway, and then install some other stuff. Okay, PDF Unite is something I need. It's not there. Is it not in the repository? Oh my god, come on. Okay, so we're gonna go with PDFDK then. Screw that. Why is PDF Unite not in the repo? Okay. So there we go. I think I'm not sure if I should install the version Blender. Let's clear this. Maybe I should install just a standalone Blender, because that's what I usually do. Are you guys still there? Oh, I didn't scroll. Oh no. What do you think about Ubuntu Touch? Is that like a system for tablets? I think that's actually something Ubuntu could be perfect for. Sorry, I don't know all distros. ADHD has a lot of overlap with several other diagnoses, so it's hard to pin down for some people. Yeah, but it's also like diagnoses are not for identity crisis management. They're not for labeling yourself. They're not for finding who you are. They are not what defines you. So diagnoses are for medical professionals to process your file. So we look at this stuff, like if somebody gets diagnosed with a certain type of cancer, we look at it, oh, that's the treatment you need, right? And the treatments overlap too. So, for instance, like both people with autism and ADHD would benefit from a calm environment with less distractions, right? So, it is what you do with the diagnosis is you design the therapy or you design the accommodations, and so that is what it's needed for. It's not needed for validation or, oh, that is wrong with me. Like, personally, I was never interested in that, and I don't really care what the name of what is wrong with me is. I just care to know what the health insurance company can do for me, if it helps or not, and then I want to move on with my day. So, okay, let's see what you guys wrote. What do you think about Graphene OS and Google Pixel? Google Pixel, no thanks. Graphene, didn't Rossman say nasty stuff about the guy who made it, or was that some other dude? Like, I think, wasn't there something shady going on with Graphene? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I had Cyanogen mod for a while, and my husband, he uses EOS, so, and he's really happy with the EOS. So, was it EOS? No, Lineage. That is what he uses, and Lineage seems to be very, very good system. So it seems really stable. Yeah. I think I've watched too much TikTok. Like, someone's writing in the chat about Gen Z and being proud of diagnoses and stuff and labels. And I I think I watched too much TikTok on that, because when I open TikTok, like, with a fresh account, it's Cyanogen is literally renamed. No, I don't think so. I think, like, Cyanogen, like, the makers of it broke up with each other, and there was some legal issue too, and then they made the new Lineage, and it kind of has a lot of features from Cyanogen mod. I'm not really sure about that, but yeah. But I would certainly use Lineage, I think, because it's just tried and true for me. And the Cyanogen mod people, I really like Cyanogen mod. I had that on my first ever smartphone, which is this one. I just sorted that out today, and I wanted to give it away. That is my first smartphone in HTC. Isn't that cute? I don't know. I can't even give this to my daughter. It's too slow. Nothing runs on it. There is a Cyanogen mod on this one still. But yeah, no support for anything. You can barely use a browser on that. Okay. Ooh, I wouldn't buy a Pixel phone. It's so expensive. I would buy a Fairphone, because a Fairphone is basically made to put any system on it. And the Google Pixel also seems nasty to repair, to be nasty to open and stuff. And I've also not heard anything good about a Pixel Watch. I mean, it's pretty, but it dies fast and it's hard to repair. So I think that all these closed solutions to me are a total no-go. So whenever you can't do this with a phone, okay, if you can't do this and this, phone is shit. If you can't do that, it's shit. I don't buy it. So, bought a Pixel because graphene is only on it. Really? Like, doesn't graphene run on any Android capable phone that is capable to have, like, a boot manager? Pixel Watch 2 can't be repaired. There's a Watch 2 already? I thought that was the first one. There's a 2? Alright. Can't be repaired. Google just as tossing it. Yeah, I watched that video too. But I thought it was the Pixel 1. Pixel 2, I don't know. I didn't even know that one is out yet. By the way, I'm wearing my normal watch again, because I'm done with this shit. Oh, it was announced. Alright, so yeah, I don't follow all the Evil Corp news. Sorry. Yeah, Louis Rossman. I mean, he's awesome. I think he has the right amount of moderation. Like, he's not an extremist in any way, and like he's a stoic that can rant. Like he's calm and chill in one way, but he can do a nice little rant. And I just love that about a man. Like I find that very very sympathisch, or what is it called? Likable in a person. Graphing is only made for pixels. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. No, I learned something new. All right, so it's limited. All right. I hate yearly releases. Yeah, who doesn't? Oh, okay. How is your Debian migration going? Well, I've installed nothing, but I'm really happy that the computer started and they didn't ruin anything. The BIOS, it's graphic and it has a fucking pointer. And I think you can switch to a normal looking BIOS somehow. But I wasn't doing it because I was like, no, not gonna deal with this now. But the new computer, like I have the Yoga 370 here, and the 380 has this fucking hideous graphic BIOS. And I was like, what is this? Like, who would want this? I don't know. Am I an ancient or something? Like I don't know. I was born in the Orwell year, so I don't know. I don't want a BIOS that looks like candy. I want a BIOS that looks like a computer from the day where computers were invented. So, did you look into the framework laptops yet? What? I don't know what you mean. No. Oh yeah, I actually did, but I forgot most of the stuff that I read. I'm sorry, can't comment. Yeah, I read about it and I thought it was awesome, but I don't remember anything else. I'm sorry. Yeah, repairable laptop brand. I do remember. I do remember. I think you wrote me that before or somebody else did, and I looked it up that day. But yeah, it's just too much stuff that I have to do at once, and my kid is figure skating 3 to 5 times a week. So at the moment, not that easy. Okay, so are we going with tech life or our base first? What do you think? And like, yeah, I don't have to set anything. I think I'm gonna install our base first. I don't remember any libraries that I need. It's probably gonna come up when I install anything else. Or FFmpeg. Is this the newest FFmpeg version? FFmpeg. Yeah. FFmpeg. Let's install that first. Okay, there we go. Okay, I would add that to my list of terminal applications. Tag FFmpeg. Upgrade. Okay, good. You guys have any questions? Open source BIOS, yeah, that's nice. That's actually really nice. But like, are they heavy? Because that's one thing I like about this one. It's just so small and tiny and it fits my backpack. Made in Germany too. Gotta look into that. Right. Framework. Or maybe I'm gonna write it down on the big sheet. By the way, my kid paints stuff. And today she drew this angry flower because I wouldn't let her watch a video from some Chinese guy making a quilt out of cocoons, like silk cocoons. Um, maybe if they are in Germany, maybe I can visit them. I could pay them a visit, the company that makes these framework laptops. I could visit them and ask them all about their laptops and then make a little video about it. Let's see. Because that certainly works with backpacking companies. You can message them and they make you a custom pack and everything. And I mean, of course, you pay for it. And I don't need a laptop, so I would be like, hey, but can I have a look? But if they're really in Germany, I could say, I could pay them a visit. Yeah, she really has some of expressing. Pine phone. I think I should watch the Mental Outlaw video on that. Like, I was interested in it before I got a bunch of ads, and after that I thought, like, closed source shit and a bunch of software, and no guarantee that your data is safe. So, no thanks. Okay, so next I need, now we're with the graphic applications, I think, because I have all the, except for R and the TechLife distribution that I'm going to install. I have everything that I need in the terminal. I installed PFTK so far. Yeah, that's everything I need. Okay. TechLife and RBase. So exactly. So if you install R, it's not just R, it's called R minus base. FFmpeg, yeah, that I got. Okay, so we're gonna install RBase next. Framework notebooks are made in Germany. I know that. Somebody wrote that in the chat. Sorry, I can't follow all your names. No, it's American. Yeah, see? But actually, I messaged Fairphone for the Fairphone 3 because I wanted a sample for my YouTube channel back then. And I was like, hey, can you guys send me a Fairphone? I will send it back, like no problem. I don't want a free phone or anything, but do you have like samples that you send out to YouTubers? And I went through the whole process of messaging them, and they drafted like a whole proposal and whatever, and they messaged me back, and I wrote them again, and then at some point they told me, oh, this is actually like the wrong contact here. Can you enter all of this again and message us on this side, like with some form? And I was like, oh, screw you, I'm just gonna buy the phone. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have been like, no, give it to me for free. But their support, yeah, it's kind of slow. And also, I don't know, like, they don't really care about sending out free stuff, I think, which is common for fair companies because they don't have large margins, so it's understandable, but still, I would have given it back, and they could have still used it as expose or something. I don't know how that works, but it would have been nice to have something to test. And also, this is why I don't have the Fairphone 5 here right now, because I would definitely have loved to do a review on the Fairphone 5, but I simply couldn't because I didn't even try to contact them after how long it took last time, like several weeks, and then I got no real answer. So, which desktop environments do you like? Like in what sense? Like the whole package, window manager and everything. I use XFCE. So apart from that, I liked Awesome. And yeah, I like the old GNOME shell. This doesn't exist anymore really, so I don't know. But XFCE all the way. I tried all the other ones, by the way, because a lot of you guys recommended stuff to me, and I tried it and launched it. So far, I don't like anything that looks like Windows, like big menus and stuff. I don't really like it. I like it when I can scroll through my desktops and everything, and when the desktop setup is fairly simple and lightweight and fast. And this time I also want to tweak the CSS of XFCE, because two of my followers actually sent me their configuration for XFCE desktop, and it looked very pretty, and I was like, yeah, that's actually something I want to test at least. Like, I'm not sure I'm gonna stick with it because I'm a very basic user, so I don't really have time to tweak stuff. I barely use my computer. I merely use my computer as a workhorse. This is so hard actually to do this in English while, searching my brain for words. Yeah, it's going to be a great video about framework laptop. Well, you guys gotta subscribe so I can get one from them, because I need leverage. I need, like, I don't know. I mean, I think if I have like 10K subscribers, I can go to a company and ask them to send me something, at least to borrow me something. But I think at the point where I am, it's not like I have a lot of leverage to say like, hey, I'm a YouTuber and I can expose this to a lot of people because, I have followers, and I don't know. I don't want to beg some company to send me some freebie. So I'm just gonna wait until I have a bunch more followers, and until then I'm just gonna give my opinion and pay for the stuff myself. Okay, we are subscribed. Thank you, man. Sorry, I gotta get on with my installation, and I gotta finish the stream at some point. Okay. Oh yeah, wget is not pre-installed, I think. Is it? No, it's not. Very important tool. I can't do anything without that. Okay. So I got wget, I got ffmpeg, I got pftk. I got rbase, right? Did we all say already? Yeah, we installed rbase. So now I'm gonna install TechLive full. Which is large and is probably going to take forever. What's the EDA on this? 9 minutes. Yeah, EDA is about 9 minutes. That's actually super fast. It used to take 2 hours. Like the first tech I ever installed used to take like 2 hours to just download TechLive. Anyway, you guys, like 70 people or something voted on the last community post. Like, I asked you guys, let me take a look. I asked who's interested in a full breakdown of LaTeX for beginners. Like, this was my lecture in university that I held. Like, I was an assistant to a professor, like I was a student, and the professor essentially didn't have time to give this lecture. So he was like, hey, you were really good in my lecture. Do you want to do the lecture? And I was like, yes, I totally want to do that. That's amazing. It's money? You give me money for that? And basically, so I worked like 2 hours a week, and I got like a good salary for a student. And so I did this class for 3 years and paid my rent. So that was really cool. And I learned a lot about LaTeX problems with that, and I knew so many tricks. Like, I would do everything in LaTeX. I was a real fan of that. Still am, but back then in university, I really used it on the daily. And yeah, it was just a perfect match. And eventually I thought, like, all this knowledge is just gone with the wind, and I should like refresh it and just share my insights. And I'm working on two book projects that I have. It's not related to the channel really, and but yeah, I have these projects and I typeset them in LaTeX, and I also did a professional typesetting in LaTeX, like as a job. People paid me to typeset their books, and so I think it could be cool, you know. But yeah, I'm not sure if I should do it like in university, which was very catered to physicists or physics students, because they need a lot of math code. So, okay. What do you think about e-readers with e-ink display? Do you like pocketbooks? I have one. Like, this is my ebook reader, and it's a pocketbook. So it's pretty old. It has backlight. It's way too bright. Like, you can't read in the dark, but you shouldn't anyways. It's not good for your eyes. But that is what I use. I mean, books are not hard to come by these days, if you know where to look. Which is in the bookstore, of course. And yeah, I like that form of books, but if I really want to read something, I'm gonna buy the book and then just give it away, or give it to a friend, or sell it. Like, I don't know. But I don't need to own books. Like, personally, I have 100 books, and it stays that way. Like, whenever I get rid of a book, I get a new book, and whenever I get a new book, I get rid of a book. And there are some books that will be forever in my bookshelf. By the way, I have a whole video about all my books. And so, yeah, these are my physics books, especially theoretical physics, and what do you have? Like, a lot of mathematics, because I really like mathematics, and laser books, because that was my specialty. Yeah, quantum optics and laser physics, and yeah, just a lot of mathematics, like quantum field theory, or no, near field theory, laser field theory, scalar field propagation. Yeah, scalar field propagation is probably the thing I worked most with, apart from programming, and programming field stuff. In hideous physicist languages nobody else uses, such like Mathematica. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, thank you for purchasing a pocketbook. I'm very proud of my country every time a foreigner buys books from this startup. Where is Pocketbook from? I don't even know. But it runs a Linux, I think, or some Linux derivative. Like, my father recommended this to me once, and he said it's good, and I trusted him, because, yeah, he was also a programmer. So, and a solid state expert. Solid state physics expert. So, did you ever play Minecraft? No, that was after my time. I was 30 when Minecraft came out, or when it was like a big thing. The stuff that I played was Half-Life, the Settlers, what is this other, Age of Empires, but the Settlers were way cooler, right? So, then what else? Anno. Anno was really cool. Yeah, Half-Life, Call of Duty. Pretty cool, that one. Like, I heard Call of Duty is crap now, and I don't know. Yeah, that was basically what I was interested in, that kind of ego shooter games, or kill monsters, or stuff like that. Yeah. And I was big time into Tetris at some point, because Tetris is just calming, and like, yeah. Okay, so reading some final comments. Dude, like 3 minutes left on the tech installation. I'll be more interested in watching a video about framework laptop than about LaTeX. Yeah, I mean, you guys, I gotta afford that stuff somehow. You know, I can't just buy random hardware and then review it because a video like that gives me like maximum $10. So I don't know. I'm not mental outlaw. You know, I can't afford to buy all sorts of stuff just for YouTube. Otherwise, it's a money sinkhole. Like okay, okay. What you going on about? It's Ukrainian startup. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay. And what's 1984 and the Clockwork Orange. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. You would be very excited to see a video about latte. Okay, right. I think you know the vote is pretty clear. It's like almost 80 people now voted, and like almost all of them want a latte something. So I have the series. I have my old lectures. I would tweak them a little bit. First of all, they're in German, so but I would also tweak them a little bit because it's not just my work. It's based on the lecturer before me's work. So I would tweak that a little bit and just make it my thing. So it's not plagiarized. I mean, it's not really plagiarized. I left it to, the following student or PhD student, and they were like, hey, you can just have this. But I think it's just fair to do your own thing if you publish something. Yeah, let's just see. Okay. By the way, did any of you watch the Vinted tutorial? Because I felt like this was so hard to index, as in, like, who even knows Vinted? But then I thought, yeah, but selling stuff online is a thing, and having good photos, it's not a bad idea. But I really didn't know how to tag this one, so it's probably not going to be a successful video. Yeah, I should have probably labeled it something with GIMP, right? Because like GIMP is something people search for. I don't know. I'm going to do a bunch of other things in GIMP. Namely, I am going to do a tutorial on how to color grade because I feel like a lot of people, you can buy these templates or like you presets or lots, right? And I don't think that you should ever pay for a lot. Like, I mean, in raw editing, it's kind of nice, but I tried some of these and it actually only works for a certain aesthetic. For instance, some are just perfect for like white background shots that are really clear and you have black, brown, orange tones already, and then they make that more intense. But there are barely enough palettes or enough settings to make this work on any kind of footage. So people often they don't understand that you need to already have like good footage in order for a lot to be applied to it, and it needs to be white balanced and stuff like that. So and it needs to have like a good contrast, and that is really something you can't automate. You have to have the eye for it. It comes with experience, and like even lighting a simple video, even like I see a white balance. I see that the background is yellow. Oh, what's my computer doing? Is it getting warm? Please don't die on me. Holy shit. Oh, just got excited. No kernel panic here. All right. Found it useful. Oh, thank you. That's good to know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where to start with GIMP because like I think like everybody knows how to use GIMP. It's like very basic. But that is from me coming from Photoshop, and like GIMP is much more basic than Photoshop. Photoshop's not at all straightforward. And I feel like also if you come from Photoshop and you have Photoshop, you will never in hell not, you won't downgrade to GIMP because Photoshop is just that much. Like that would be a good starting point to say, I want to edit my photos for, I don't know, social media, or like I want to edit my own wedding pictures because I don't want to spend like 800 bucks on a photographer that then turns out to be Gen Z and complains that you didn't pay them uh, 1,600 bucks instead, and and then post a video about how you're a mean customer on TikTok. So you want to edit your own wedding photos. I was like, yeah, maybe something like that. So I'm thinking about just whenever I do the next edit for my Instagram, I'm just gonna record it. Could that be cool? And do you like the style with the little bubble like on the side or here? Like I have this little bubble where you can see my stupid face. Or do you prefer it when you see the whole screen and no person over it? The bubble was nice. Because I think like you can make more sense, and also people have like maybe auditory impairments and have difficulty to understand what I'm saying. They can see from my lips maybe what I'm saying a little bit better because subtitles are not always accurate. So I think maybe it's helpful in that way to not read the lips, but to process the whole information from the person. I thought humanizes the experience. Yeah. Okay. Immersion. It adds immersion? In what way does it add immersion? Dude, tech is still not done. Holy fucking crap. Now it downloads a lot of other utils. Awesome. And there's still not all packages that I need in there. There's still not all of them in there. I don't even remember all the LaTeX packages that I have. By the way, do you know you can get a list from Aptitude? You can get a whole list of everything that you installed, and then you can feed that list into a text file, and you have a list of all your packages. You destroyed your old system, and you think like, oh, do you have this or that? You just look up your list, because you can basically do that with simple file. With a simple command, which is apt list minus installed and then greater than, and then you enter the file you want to put the output into. The screen capture with the bubble would have worked well for this live stream. If that is possible. No, because that's a mask. I'm masking like the whole recording, and then I could do this in OBS, but this was a really spontaneous live stream. So here's my screen share. See, it says done, and now we're doing this. CLEAR. Come on. Damn it. It's getting hot. Not for me, for the computer. I have the other one on these hideous little wooden blocks, which were toys from my youth, also GTR made. So it doesn't get too hot, because this one is really damaged. I gotta take care of this one. Ah, dude. Almost, what? No, more than 1.5 hours. ThinkPad crew, rise up. Yeah, ThinkPad. Yeah. I have one of those, is Pac-Man. I hate Pac-Man. I'm sorry, dude. What? I'm the artificial intelligence. You think I'm intelligent? So I really use less than 20 apps, and when reinstalling, I just back up documents, configs, photos. I only grow my package count while need search. Yeah, it's more about the libraries, because there are a lot of codependencies on stuff like Blender or let alone DaVinci Resolve, which I don't use anymore. But to install DaVinci, like, good luck. Um, anyway, so yeah, I don't have too many apps though. I mean, you can see my whole list of apps that I use on my blog, and I'm going to publish like a little documentation of how I did my setup. But the only things that I really use are visualization tools, for photo, video, and text, and PDFs. No, PDFs. Yeah, I use Ocular. I believe it's a German word. So I use that for PDFs because I like the highlighting tools. And yeah, it's just handy if you edit a lecture file or make notes, and then you can print it and send it to people. Like, it's the closest thing to Acrobat. So I like that. But other than that, my list of applications is not like super long. Like, I mean, the messengers is annoying because it's like telecom signal and so on. So that's annoying. But other than that, I have Kyle with Ocular, Gedit, Blender, Kazam, which is like a screen recording tool, GIMP, Inkscape, Raw Therapy, Tor, of course, FileZilla, and then as the Firefox plugins, I have the Pinterest button, Ghost3, TubeBuddy for YouTube, a text-to-speech tool that is really handy. It is, I don't know what it's called, text-to-speech, I think. It has a violet symbol. And a YouTube converter button, so I can convert stuff to audio, like in YouTube, which is really handy if you have just some, I don't know, music that you want for meditation or something like that. And yeah, that is something I use. And then I have the Ledger app, the newest Blender version for standalone again, and Blumen. So that is everything I have on my computer. All other apps, I don't really know. I only use that. I think what is very annoying is that the LibreOffice suite is pre-installed in Debian, right? Let's check. Oh yeah, all that crap is there. I really don't need that for anything. But I don't know. There are a bunch of applications that I'm going to test in the future. So I don't know. I'm probably going to run that in a different directory. Like, this is coming from my Windows days, but I just don't like installing and uninstalling stuff. Like, that is one way to destroy your Windows, to install a lot of stuff and then uninstall it and install other stuff, and or to plug in like 500 different USB devices. But I think they fixed that. Like, back in the day, if you had a Windows XP or I don't know, a 7 even, it was like that. When you had one flash drive and you plugged it into slot A, and then another day you would plug it into slot B, then Windows would actually recognize those as two different setups or two different devices, and they would all load at startup. And so with especially like university computers or like public computers or family computers, this would make your computer fucking slow, because it would, like, you could list all these devices, and I had a computer and I had like 50 different USB devices because they were never deleted. Like, that kind of stuff is what made people like me ditch Windows at some point. And even if they fixed some of it, it's a philosophy of it. The philosophy is not idealist enough for my taste. So, and it's not user driven enough also. It's capital driven. Anyway, ocula is a Latin word. No, then it would have a C in it. Like K is not really used in Latin. Like ocula is this. Like that is an ocula. Okay, anyway. Sadly, I still have to use Windows. Yeah, but I think Windows doesn't do that with the. I think they the whole mounting system. I think they renovated that a little bit. They gave it a do over. So you didn't want the whole library of LaTeX distros. Well, there is a Tech Live light version. Like you could just got that. It's not that heavy, but really, I don't really mind. My root mount point is like a 64 gig, so I have so much space on this hard drive, and I don't use any of it. It's like 500 gigabytes of disk space, and I don't use it because I only use external drives. Like I'm not nuts if I'm gonna lose my computer anywhere. And no, it's not encrypted. I encrypt just whenever I need to encrypt some files, and I encrypt that files. I don't encrypt my whole partition. I'm not getting into that. So for me, the fail safe is if I lose the computer, everything is not lost. Like that would be that would be really bad, because I do travel sometimes and I have to leave my laptop in my car or in other places. And so a laptop cannot be a thing that if it's cracked, like my life is ruined. The same goes for the phone. Like if you feel like you lose your phone and you become unsafe, that's bad threat management. So oculari means brille. Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know Ukrainian. I just know a little bit Russian, which is funny, by the way, because when the Ukrainian refugees came to Germany, I was like, I don't know if they feel comfortable with Russian, because that I don't know Ukrainian, but I thought like, I know a little bit of Russian, like maybe, but I don't know. And then it was like so insane, because all of them were like so happy to hear like even a Russian phrase, and they didn't mind at all, because a lot of them didn't know German and their English was also not so good, and they were so happy, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like that was kind of touching, because I felt bad for not knowing any Ukrainian. So I really like to learn languages. So whenever I have a need to learn a language, I just sit down for half a year in preparation of something. But I mean, you can't do that with the refugee crisis, so or with war or anything. So I really like to sit down and just learn a language. When I go to France, I know like in advance, so 3 months before, I'm just gonna refresh my French, and then I'm gonna be more fluent in it, and the holidays are gonna be more fun. Or like Swedish, that's the other language that I learn. But I also have an interest like in Russian and in Chinese, because I think like Mandarin Chinese is really a cool language, and I know a lot of people who speak Chinese, like 50 people or something, like all from the rank. And so I would love to know Chinese, but it's so hard. And then the last language I like is Finnish, and I would say Russian is easier. Like 100%, like Russian is nothing. And I also speak a little bit of Persian. And so Persian is also, it's way, way, way easier than Russian. So yeah, I think the easiest language of all that is probably Swedish, then English, then Persian, then no, before that Yeah, Persian, then French, German, Russian, Finnish, Chinese. Like that's my tier list of languages. um, anyway, so yeah, we are happy to meet former Russians in Germany. In most cases, they are good people who have escaped from the sinking ship. Yeah, exactly my experience too. Many people from Russia helped us when we fled to Germany. Oh yeah, that is good to know. You know, I also have a lot of Russian friends. I've got Russian Ukrainian friends and Russian friends, and yeah, um, I know a bunch of Ukrainians. So it's really interesting to me to see also how people adapt to this environment, because I think like Germany is not easy to immigrate to. It has a lot of promise, and with hard work you can do a lot. But still, if you're the Ausländer, you know, if you're the foreigner, it's hard to make German friends. Like, pro tip, by the way, if you want to make friends in Germany or any European country, find hobbies to do together. Like, the entrance point for all of us is hobbies. If you have the same hobbies with somebody else, you have something to talk about, or, you know, that is something that can really help to make friends here. Anyway, I think I'm gonna finish this one. I'm not gonna finish the install today, you guys. I thought, you know, there are people who do these study live streams, and they basically they just sit there and they study, and then people are watching them study harder. I don't know. And I thought, all right, I'm just gonna do this, but with like calmly installing or setting up my system. And I was like, dude, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I was reading the chat is so hard on this app. Like as soon as my computer is by the way, I have to add OBS. As soon as my computer is set up properly, I am going to do the live streams using OBS. The only problem with it is that the audio sync sometimes isn't that good. So the lag depends on my my landline basically, and so if the lag is constant, then that's great and it will sync right. But if for some reason, you know, if you use Wi-Fi like a noob, the lag changes, then you're fucked and you can't edit that out. So you have to download the whole live stream and then edit that out. Like that would be something YouTube should fix. Like the capacity to do this would be game changing for streamers, because otherwise because then all the comments, all the chat messages are gone later. It's just idiotic. All right. You want to learn Japanese and Chinese? Oh, somebody's rude here. Hi, rude. And Chinese because of trains, lol. Most trains and buses in my state are being manufactured in China. What? What? Do you want to read the fucking manual, or what's the point? How big is the DJ scene in Germany? DJ like disc jockey? Uh, I don't know. I don't go to clubs. Like it hurts my ears. Um, I'd say the rave scene is rather big, like rave, electronic music, industrial also. We had a lot of industrial here. I think that I don't know, probably like if you go to a club, there will be a DJ. Like I don't know how it's now, you know, like with the whole COVID restriction thing, people like a lot of things died here from that. Like not just people, also um occasions and just little shops and initiatives and stuff. So I think people are a lot more cuddled up at home by now. You do? You do what? You do want to read the manuals? What? What? No, this is one thing I would do with Google. Like you can just use the Google phone, or any phone with Google Photos on it, or Google camera software, Android camera probably. You can scan this shit and then it will translate it to you. I did that on a trail in France because my French was not that good that I could read all their trail French. And I was like, what is this? Can I access this trail or not? And I was not sure. I mean, I could read it. I was like, doesn't sound like it. But then you could scan the whole thing with your phone. I was so happy that I had this Google shit on there at this point. Same goes for OpenStreetMap, by the way. I was such an avid OpenStreetMap user for so long. I don't use that shit anymore because it's not the same as it was like in the 2000s. It was great back then, and now it's just nothing compared to Google. That's sad because I would love to use something open. If you have a good recommendation, then let me know. Yeah, Google Lens. Yeah, exactly. That shit. But you can just scan text and it will copy paste the text, or you can just translate the text on the go without anything else. That was something I like because I mean that's like in Star Trek, where you just need your little what is it, like the communicator here. I don't know that in English because I didn't watch all of them. I watched a bunch of them in French. I watched a bunch of them in English too. Damn, I don't know what this thing was called anymore. So the communicator that I had, and you just have to configure it, and then everybody understands each other. That's actually one of my nightmares. But when you need to use it, it's handy, right? It's handy to use Translate automatically when it's working. And I'm telling you, it's not working well with Mandarin. Like even simple Chinese. Like whenever I had a Chinese person and I was like, hey, I want to say this to you because you don't speak English, you don't speak German, you only speak your language. So let's use simple Chinese. No. And it would always like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And I was like, really? Not even close? You can't even read it? Like on Chinese, Google seems to be really bad. But French, Swedish, German, it works rather well. So Persian not so well. Like there are no resources for Persian. You have to learn it in person at university in order to be even close to fluent in Persian. So anyway, I want to learn to visit those countries, mostly rural area. Oh yeah, I believe rural China is so beautiful. Like just what you see from the China Ganda, I guess. But I like it. And I also like Chinese people. Like just the whole culture is like seems really cool. So anyway. What? You never expected me to curse so much. Um, I don't know. Where are you from? Like, it's been a long day. Anyway, should I use less swear words? China kinda. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of these videos on TikTok that are like painting a picture of China as this beautiful, non-problematic place. But I mean, we all know it's not. But I also know, like, just from growing up or from, yeah, living a few years in the GDR and from what my parents told me and what I lived through, I just know that communism, or, I mean, China to me is not really communism, but these kind of countries, they have another side too. And that is the side where people just do whatever the hell they want in private. And people are not idiots and they're not ignorant and they are not blindfolded and don't know that they are suppressed and they're not all brainwashed. Like, I've met people who were like, oh, you were born in the GR, so how much were you brainwashed by communism and how much did you have to unlearn? And I was like, nothing. We knew what was going on, but like some people did stuff to survive, others didn't, the ones with integrity. And it wasn't like that. And so I hate it when people have these cliches about countries like, oh, so that was communism, it was totally evil, you were all brainwashed, you didn't know what you were doing. Like, no, it's not how people work. Like, maybe that's how North Korea work. But people really, they compare North Korea to the GDR, which is like so not the same. Like, people in the GDR had Western radio stations. We used to listen to only that. Nobody would listen to the GDR program. Like, I mean, unless the what we would call Red Sox, and Red Sox was a word for, you know, regime identifying communist, you know, red communism. Anyway, gonna read the chat one more time, and then I'm gonna hit the horizontal. All right. You're from America. I just came up when you recommended. Oh, that's great. Subscribe, please. I want to reach 4K. It would be so cool. Like, I would be so happy if I could do that. Like, I have other videos too. Like, check out my channel page. That is crazy. Live just came up. What? All right. Okay, but yeah, we are using swear words on this channel. It's a European thing. We all say shit like 10 times a day minimum. Um, so I want to visit those stores where everyone chews so loudly. What? Stores where people chew loudly? I don't know about that. So, hardest about making friends in Germany is the language. No, we all know English. Like 80% know English, I think. No, Ukrainian is a small Chizuka da, the same Bruderschaft. Both languages and practically all technical terms from German. Oh yeah, it's the same in Swedish, right? Like in Swedish, like institution is just institution, or I don't know, probably pronounce it incorrectly, but or like I don't know, I can't think of words right now, but a lot of Swedish words are the same. So I'm learning German with English, and they have a lot of similar words too. Yeah, that's true, and it's easier with French as well. Like French and English is also good. With the stores comment, I was talking about Chinese TikToks where they show stores that sell candles. Candles? And they chew so loudly. The candles? People chew on candles? I'm probably getting this wrong. I don't know. You know that YouTube back in the day, like in 2016, it had a messaging function. Like you could message a DM to a creator just like that. Or like, I mean, between channels, I think, like probably not users and creators, but creator, you could message each other. I miss that. That was really a cool feature. Like, I don't know. That is why I prefer Patreon, you know? Patreon is so much better than YouTube because on Patreon you can message, you can write posts, they can be formatted with headings and images in them. And even Patreon even has like integration for your website. Like if you have a WordPress website like me, you could integrate Patreon into that and then make Patreon only posts. How cool is that? So I can't really do that with YouTube, which sucks. So, oh, you think I'm a lady? Oh, thank you. I'm flattered. Already subbed. I hope to catch you again soon. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Or lady. I don't know if you're a man or a lady or a circle. Candles. Okay, all right. I think we reached the point where I need to reboot my computer. All right. So I will shut this down now. Thank you all for coming to my live talk and installing stuff with me. I made a video where I installed a Debian 12 system, and I got a bunch of other videos coming up. So if you want to watch that, check out my upcoming videos. And otherwise, I also have a podcast about creator stuff, how I do all my YouTube stuff, and you know how I waste all my money on expensive gear. So yeah, that's that. And oh, you missed it. Yeah, you didn't really miss much. It was just blah 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 blah, and it was just a really spontaneous thing. I didn't really plan this. I was just going over to my husband and I was like, hey, what do you think? Do you mind if I do a live? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, cool. Then please don't come in. I'm gonna live, and I'm gonna install my stuff. And he was like, hey, when can I have the old computer? Because he wants my old computer. He thinks he can make this thing work, but I think I'm gonna have to scrape and solder shit, which is not something I like because I don't have a small soldering iron, and I don't know. Or can you do that with a big one? I think you need a special one for this board level shit, right? But I feel up for it. So if this is repairable, like the water damage from that, you are going to see the first ever board repair on this channel. But I think I'm probably not gonna make it that far because of this fucking issue of being busy. Anyway,